Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to create a tie-dye inspired nail art design. Here are just a couple of the gel polishes I'll be using today. Most of the colored gel polishes are from Semilac today, and I've picked up the most neon ones I could find. Whenever I think of tie-dye, I think of bright, beautiful colors, so that's why I decided to pick up those beauties. And we also have 1323 from Cloud Beauty, which is our just standard classic white. It's probably the best white I've ever used. It's super affordable and it works so well, so I highly recommend it if you're on the hunt for some whites. So when it comes to our base colors, we're only really going to have two nails that are going to be fully white, and the only reason we are making those white is just because later on we're going to create that tie-dye effect, and I needed something to be in the background. So you don't have to go ahead and do white, you could do any color that you want. You know, if you're doing a blue theme, you can do a very pale blue in the background, whatever kind of suits the colors you're going for. Now we're working on our nail that's actually going to be the middle nail, and it's going to be a full weight ombre. So I've popped all of those colours, and now we're going to ombre it with my Madam Glam ombre brush. So you just want to go back and forth between the colours and then swipe your brush on a lint-free wipe. I like to kind of dip my wipe into some nail liquid kind of cleaner, the blue little liquid you can get from Miley, and wipe it there, and then just keep going until you are happy. It takes a bit of a process, especially because, you know, all these colours are different colours. So it will take a bit of a challenge to make it look beautiful, but just don't give up. Keep brushing back and forth and eventually it will look good. So these next two nails are going to be identical but flipped. So I do end up just showing you guys the one nail on camera, and you just want to make sure you mirror flip it onto the other one. So this is going to be one of the tie-dye techniques. You can say that we're using two techniques today in a way, one using Lumen gel and the other one is what we're doing here. So I'm just using the nail art brush, picking up the colours and just doing this half circle on the nail, and I'm just going to follow this until the full nail is covered. You could say downside to this nail design is that you kind of preferably need to use very nice pigmented colours, preferably some nail art gels or something like that, because there's no way of doing a second coat. It's just a one coat and that has to be it. So if you've got really sheer gels or anything like that, this wouldn't work if you want them to be opaque. There's no way you could do another coat. So for the gels that I'm using today, they're not the best when it comes to being very like opaque and everything like that, but they were the best ones I could find when it came to the colour. So you could still see that I made it work. It isn't ideal. There are little bits and pieces that are kind of, you know, not as opaque as I probably would have wanted them to be, but it's okay because I feel like still at the end of the day, it's not as noticeable, and that's all that matters, that the design can go ahead and be done. So now that you've done the lines, you want to take a brush and you just want to scrape from the center of that pink what we've placed out. Kind of want to scrape your brush to the outside of the nail. And that way you're dragging your brush through all of those colours and you're kind of blending them into one another in a way. And it creates a really cool effect. I love how it looks. And you just want to keep going. You can be you can use as thick of a brush as you want or as thin as you want. And you can also do as big of a gap in between each line as you want or not. It's all up to you. As you can see, between each swipe, I am wiping my brush because I didn't want any of the other colours mixing into the pink. I really wanted it to be like the pink is blending into the orange and the orange into the yellow and so on. But if you don't mind that as well, you don't have to wipe your brush. It's just my preference. And as you can see there, that's where I had little gaps and stuff. So you can just go back and colour it in. So the ombre is done twice. We've done the other two nails now. We've got our two white nails, and it's time for the blooming gel. So this is technique number 2 of our tie-dye design. So this blooming gel is so old. I'm so shocked that it's still working, to be honest. But it's working, which is great. It's from You Are Sugar. So I'm just placing a layer of that on the nail, and then you want to pick up all 4 of those colours, but using a dotting tool, I'm going to dab away, creating this little spiral, and the blooming gel is going to do the magic for us. So you'll notice that this nail isn't perfect. It's in no way actually perfect. The blue, you know, it's quite hard to get the blooming gel to do exactly what you want it to do, but I kind of found that that's what makes the beauty in this nail design. Tie-dye is also never perfect. You never know what you're going to get when you pop it into the liquids and all the paints and everything, and when you kind of take off all the bands and everything of your t-shirts, you never know what it's going to end up looking like. So it's almost like we literally replicated I think that's the word, the whole tie-dye process onto a nail, which was so fun. The set was so fun to do. So if you're ever kind of bored or you just want to have some fun, definitely give this one a go. It's so nice and it's so satisfying to see your final result at the end as well. It looks so cool. So you just want to repeat this all the time with all the colours. Of course, you also don't want to be too slow because of the blooming gel is doing its job, so the longer you take, the more the center will bloom and the less the sides will bloom. So preferably the quicker the better, but it's completely down to you. Of course, I've got a huge nail there. If you are doing it on the client, most of the time they're not going to have nails this long or this wide, so it shouldn't take you as long as it did for me to kind of apply all those dots and make it bloom, which is great too. So not to worry, don't be too stressed about your timings. I'm going to repeat the same process on this second nail as well, but I thought I will kind of flip it around again, so kind of start the spiral on the opposite side, and this one ended up actually looking a lot different than the other one somehow. But yeah, so I am going to continue this. As you can see, I left the other one in the background to bloom. I haven't popped it into the lamp, so it's kind of showing how, you know, I still kind of wanted it to bloom a bit more. There we go. That's where I decided to pop it in. But I still felt like I wanted it to bloom a bit more. It could be that because my blooming gel is quite old, it's not blooming as well. I feel like I've seen people use blooming gels and it was blooming within seconds. So that's probably why maybe I was able to, you know, get myself an extra couple of minutes to work on another nail before I can pop it into the lamp. But this one, just a couple little lines left. I just feel like this one came out looking a bit different. Just the way I was popping the dots and everything was just a little bit different than the other one. But it's fine. So once this one goes into the lamp, we'll be in a position to apply our top coat. So for today, I am going in with a matte top coat. And after we've applied the matte top coat, I do have some Glitterbell's Unbelievable gels to use. We got the black one out today, and we're going to do little droplets. I cannot remember why I did the droplets. This nail design has been created a very long time ago, and I've only just got around to filming it. So if you don't know or you're new to my channel, quite often I create designs just in my free time, chilling, just relaxing, and when I feel creative. And then if any of them I like enough, I do end up recreating it again on camera. So I really like to come prepared for my videos. I almost never come to a video not knowing what I'm doing. I always have the kind of like a replica next to me ready to go of what I'm doing. So this one, yeah, it just took me a while to get around to. I'm not sure why. Maybe the whole design looked quite busy and I felt like it might take a long time to film, but actually in reality it was very quick to film. It was so fun to film. It's literally amazing. So here are the nails, all matte, looking gorgeous. I love matte nails with these bright colors as well, absolutely stunning. So here's the black that I'm using. I'm going to grab a dotting tool, pop a couple of dots. I think I went ahead and did 4, and then we're going to drag them up to the top. We're kind of wanting to create little droplets, almost like it's kind of like dripping down the nail. Like I said, no idea why, but I do like the final result, so we're going with the flow. You want to grab a nail art brush, drag a line from the dot up to the top. Up to the top. As you can see, the nail wasn't very level because of the dots that I was creating. So that was causing me a little bit of problems, but not to worry. We ended up fixing it somehow. And you just want to connect where the dots are, the two sides of the dots to the line that you've created, and that way you will always be able to create a beautiful little droplet effect. These droplet effects are quite often used in cartoony nails too, which is great. You can like reuse this technique on other nail art designs. So here I was happy with my line, so now I'm kind of drawing where I want the top bit of my little droplets to be, and I'm just colouring it in there as well. So we're going to repeat this black a little bit onto the other nail as well. So those two nails are going to be identical. So there, I've coloured it in, and as you can see, this black is so opaque. It's literally amazing for nail art. And here, to get rid of any of those harsh lines, we're going to connect and make almost like a little half circle-y thing. There we go. That's what it looks like when we've got 2 nails done. And I felt like it needed something else, so we ended up going with another 2 little dots to create almost like this drip effect, where it kind of dripped a little bit lower down the nail. And that you really want to make sure it's tiny, not crazy big or anything like that. And of course, same thing, I'll repeat that onto the other nail as well. So now that it is out, I thought like I needed to actually add an extra little touch. So with some white gel polish, it can be gel polish, ideally nail art gel, because it does cure tack free and we don't really want a top coat anymore. Same with Glitterbell's Unbelievable gels, they cure tack free, so If you're ever wondering whether or not you need to wipe them or top coat them, nope, you do not. Just make sure you cure them for 60 seconds though. And I'm just going in with my nail art brush and just adding the whites wherever I feel like the kind of, I think it's like the shadow thing you're doing, isn't it? Wherever the light hits kind of thing. You kind of want to pick one side and just add it there basically. And you want to do that on the other nail of course as well, but that's done off camera. So we're almost done. We have one more nail to work on, and that's our crystal nail. And I have to say our crystal nail is quite heavy today. We've got a bunch of crystals to do. I feel like although there's a bunch of crystals, at the same time they're like the crystal placement isn't like crazy, if that makes sense. Like it's not something you know, crazy creative is probably what I'm trying to say. It's just a bunch of crystals placed on the nail. It looks nice, but I don't think it's that creative basically. But I felt like I really wanted to bling out this set for some reason. It's not like there's already not enough going on, so I'm kind of doing like a necklacey vibe. I feel like I've been really feeling these necklacey crystal placements. I really feel like to call them necklacey placements. I hope you guys get what I mean when I say it, because it literally is like a necklace on a nail. So that's why I call them that. So I do this little bit there, and I add a couple of crystals at the bottom too, and then I go ahead and pop it into the lamp, I think, in between, just because the crystals, there are a bunch of them and they are heavy, so you can even see there that it's moving around. So I thought, right, this is the best time to pop it into the lamp before we continue with the rest of the crystal placement. Here it is, it's out now. I ended up placing a bunch of crystals at the top as well in almost like a triangle shape. So I'm going to do that now as well. In the moment, I think, yeah, I don't end up actually showing on camera, but I do end up chucking a bunch of caviar beads as well. So a bunch of caviar beads in between the crystals, and I also did an extra kind of line sticking out from the bottom. Big crystal going to the sides. I did not include that on camera, so I'm so sorry, but in just a second, if you pause the video, I have the nail very close up to the camera so you can see exactly where I placed the caviar beads in case you are recreating the set or this nail specifically, so you can go have a look. I will also in a second show you guys the final results, the whole set together as well, so if you wanted to pause it there as well, you can do so. So I'm just going to finish that up, pop into the lamp. Here is the nail with the caviar beads, looking stunning. I love it so much. And here are the final results. I am so proud of this set. I love it so much. I'll have all my discount codes and links in the description. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'd love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.